So somebody might say, well, the church is it's the pillar and ground of the truth. 1 Timothy 3:15. And we understand this is not an endowment. This is a responsibility. The church, there's no institution somewhere that is guaranteed to be flawless and without error. This is a responsibility of the church. It is not a magical endowment. An endowment, oh, you have, brown eyes and curly hair. In the church, you are the pillar and ground of the truth. Some magical sauce there. No, it's not like that. This is a responsibility for the church. And a responsibility that, as we saw very clearly from Scripture, a lot of them did not do very well at all. At all. So institutions that we encounter on planet Earth, okay? They are built and designed to scale, okay? Institutions are built and designed to scale information. I have information on there twice. Not bugging anybody besides me. Information. And low-level capabilities. What do you mean low-level capabilities? The higher level the capability, the more unique the situation. So the education system can produce anything from mechanics to accountants, but it's not going to produce an Einstein or a Steve Jobs or an Elon Musk or something like that. It's not going to do that. An institution isn't going to do that. So when we look at our institutions, like whether it's churches or seminaries or the whole, the industrial religious complex, maybe is what you want to call it, we systematically send young men and women off to seminary to basically program them to operate in a certain way. I will put this data in your head. We're basically updating their firmware. We're specifically enculturating them to do specific things. I will put this data in your head. Then you can come back to our mega church and be the children's pastor. You see? And then if you're really good and you keep educating yourself, and you're a really charismatic speaker, maybe one day you can be the senior pastor somewhere of a very large church and make a lot of money. So I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking they're trying to do. But we send thousands and thousands of people to seminary, and we have these mega churches with thousands and thousands of people in them. And I'm pretty sure, I would say, I have no reason to doubt that most of the people involved in these kinds of endeavors probably mean well. I'm not trying to denigrate that, but institutions, okay, cannot afford transformation. They don't do that. Transformation comes through apprenticeship and guildcraft. It doesn't scale well at all. If you've ever seen Count of Monte Cristo, that's guildcraft, that's apprenticeship. If you've ever seen the way Mr. Miyagi trained Danielson in The Karate Kid, if you watch the Star Wars movies and you notice how each master Jedi has an apprentice or a Padawan with them, that they're being trained through guildcraft. See, you can't scale master Jedis. You can't scale them. It's an apprenticeship. You see? So the span of control, like in the Army, we had a span of control, what we would call 3 to 5. In other words, if you're the boss of something, you have 3 to 5 other things under you. If you're a fire team leader, you have 3 to 5 people under you. If you are a squad leader, you have 3 to 5 fire teams under you. If you're a platoon leader, you have 3 to 5 squads under you. If you're a company commander, you have 3 to 5 platoons under you. If you're a battalion commander, you have 3 to 5 companies under you. If you're a brigade commander, you have 3 to 5 battalions under you. If you're a division commander, you have 3 to 5 brigades under you. You understand how it goes like that? So the span of control seems to be about 12, a 1 to 12 ratio, not send thousands of people to seminary ratio. If you look at Jesus and the apostles, or if you look at the tribes of Israel, something like that, Jesus had 12 apostles, but you had 3 of the core group. Peter, James, and John seem to be like a different of the core. So it's almost like I would imagine that probably the apostles were divided up into 3 fire teams that each had 4 in them. And Peter, James, and John each had a fire team under them. You see? And so Jesus' span of control was 3, Peter, James, and John, and their span of control each was 3. They had 3 under them, if you will. I'm not saying that that's how it was arranged, but I'm just using my imagination. But I would think that whatever can be conveyed from a wise elder would, sorry if that was loud, whatever could be conveyed from a wise elder probably has a span of control no more than 12 at the absolute most. And the best transmission of wisdom happens at a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-few ratio, and an edification model like Ephesians 4:16 of a peer-to-peer group, not broadcast modality. I don't think you can cultivate wisdom in a broadcast modality of the Ephesians 4:11 and 12 type. You have to mature into the Ephesians 4:13 through 16 modality of edification in order to actually cultivate wisdom. Okay. So cultivating wisdom turns out to be a hard thing to do. It turns out to be something that doesn't scale well. It turns out to be something that you can't write a formula for or a script for and have thousands of people doing it, and you always get consistent results. It's very bespoke, and you have to have some kind of wise elder who is able to tailor the cultivation of wisdom toward what the individuals under his care need, his or her care need. So these scaled things, if you look at the different levels of learning, the scaled approach, especially in Christianity, gets you about here. Okay? It gets you about here when you look at different levels of learning. Yeah, my mouse, I can't control my mouse. It's all jumpy. You get remembering is like rote memory. Remember these things, memorize these verses. Here are all the, here are all the correct doctrines. Learn these things. Okay, that's like level 1 stuff. That's like first grade stuff. And people think that they're growing spiritually when they put all this data in their brain. And then understanding, well, Western Christianity, or this trash can water Christianity, nobody there understands just about anything. So when you look at the 6 different levels of learning or knowing, whatever you want to call it, you don't get very far with Western Christianity. You don't get very far at all. And you say, well, look, we're applying things. You're not. Sorry, you're not. You're just not. So stop thinking that you are. And we could get into that, but that could be a whole nother video. You're not applying anything.